Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Government of Alberta has a legal and moral obligation to provide appropriate and equitable funding to persons with developmental disabilities and to manage the PDD program in a manner that's responsive to the needs and concerns of individuals, families, service providers and workers. To the Premier, when will the government conclude its review of the PDD program to respect the principles of inclusion, transparency, independence, collaboration and best practices?
The Minister of Justice and Solicitor General.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I couldn't agree more with the honourable member. It is absolutely the case that this government is completely committed to ensuring that we have a better PDD program going forward, Mr. Speaker. As my colleague is always saying, what we've heard loud and clear from various communities is nothing about us without us. And so we are absolutely taking the time to go out and to consult with different communities. We've demonstrated our commitment by increasing funding by $150 million to provide 800 additional PDD clients with the supports they need, and I'm sure I'll have more to say about that shortly.
For supplemental.
The community is confused by conflicting messages about the government's intentions with the PDD program. It's been almost 3 years since the government has taken power and we've yet to see a comprehensive PDD strategy. Why did it take so long to initiate a PDD review, let alone address community members' long-standing and well-known concerns?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and to the member for the question. Well, of course, as all members of this House will be aware, when you're dealing with a complex situation and you want to make sure that everyone is included, sometimes it takes long to get it right. But, Mr. Speaker, I think that rather than hearing from us, we should hear from some people who have been affected by this. Bruce Udiski of Inclusion Alberta CEO and a parent of a son who receives PDD services said our government is showing, quote, leadership in launching this forward-thinking review and ensuring families and individuals with developmental disabilities are fully heard and engaged and is much appreciated. Thank you.
Second supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In May 2017, this Assembly voted unanimously to create an advocate for persons with disabilities to examine broader issues affecting people with disabilities and assist individuals having difficulties with the system. Despite royal assent in June of 2017, the government only began searching for an advocate this week. To the Premier, how much longer will Albertans have to wait for an advocate to finally hear their concerns after years of inaction by previous and current governments?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and to the member for the important question. Of course, our government is incredibly proud of the member for Calgary Northwest for passing a private member's bill to make life better for Albertans with disabilities. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to announce that the posting was opened recently. There was incredible engagement on this file, Mr. Speaker. Over 1,300 Albertans with disabilities, families and self-advocates shared their input on the role that the advocate should take through that survey to help us determine what the priorities are. Mr. Speaker, we're committed to working with those communities to make sure that we get it right.